On a morning in early March, a familiar scene played out at the Bexar County Justice Center. A black Ford Expedition Max pulled into the executive parking lot with District Attorney Joe Gonzalez riding shotgun. It's a pattern KSAT recorded time and again this spring. In fact, we didn't see the DA in his personal vehicle at all until shortly after KSAT reached out for an interview for this story. Gonzalez is among 39 district attorney employees eligible for a car allowance, and according to public records, is the only one on this list who also collects a six-figure salary. The DA's vehicle stipend of $9,000 a year breaks down to $750 a month.
There's some substance to be concerned here. That's a fairly healthy amount to spend on a car that I think ought to concern most taxpayers, a lot of whom can't afford gas, groceries, and rent right now.
James Quintero is a policy director with the Texas Public Policy Foundation. His Austin-based think tank tracked population and inflation growth versus property tax increases in major Texas counties from 2018 to 2022. According to the metric, Bexar County is among the jurisdictions overtaxing its citizens.
Out of which you see shenanigans like this.
Gonzalez declined an interview request for this story. In a statement, DA spokesman Pete Gallego wrote that security details for elected officials are common and that Gonzalez prosecutes dangerous criminals. Quote, unfortunately, our district attorney has received numerous credible death threats related to his personal safety. His protective detail determines whether a threat is legitimate and decides as to those periods of time when he should be escorted. For his own safety and security, District Attorney Joe Gonzalez relies on the determinations made by his protective detail because they are specially trained law enforcement officers. Gallego's statement did not address the DA's decision to continue collecting the car allowance, even for periods when he's not driving. Neither did a follow-up letter sent days later from Gallego to KSAT's general manager, requesting we redact any of our video that identifies the DA's personal residence. No such video exists. Last month, as Gonzalez arrived to work, we attempted to ask him about the auto stipend.
District Attorney, is it right for you to accept a car allowance?
After a member of his security detail jumped into the passenger seat, Gonzalez drove off, then parked at the opposite end of the lot before turning around and finally agreeing to talk with us.
He's on the phone right now. He's off the phone now.
So I understand the heightened security and the need for the security detail, but the just flatly taking the $9,000 a year, I mean, isn't that something where, you know, some of that should go back if you're getting a ride everywhere for weeks on end, which is, you know, what we have footage of?
Well, it's not getting a ride. I mean, you're making it sound like these gentlemen are Uber drivers. This is my my executive protection. I've had several death threats beginning the start of my administration. I accept the allowance because I do use my vehicle. As you can see, I'm driving my vehicle.
You started to use it again after we reached out for an interview.
I've been using my vehicle ever since I started here, particularly, for example, like COVID. I mean, I was driving myself in practically every day when my staff was at home.
Gonzalez went on to say the county has no rule regulating the amount he uses the security detail, and that at one point during his tenure, he had to lock down his home for several days after an individual who threatened him figured out where he lives.
I'm the only county official that makes decisions that are literally life and death. We send people to prison.
Taxpayers may not like that you accept the car allowance while getting a ride, being with your security detail, start, end of the day.
Well, it's not a matter of convenience, it's a matter of security. I'm not doing it because I don't want to drive.
Days after this interview, two attorneys representing Gonzalez emailed KSAT management, again falsely accusing the station of gathering footage of the DA's home and raising new concerns about KSAT recording video of his personal vehicle and the location where he typically parks. One attorney cited sections of the Texas Public Information Act that allow public entities to withhold the personal information of law enforcement officers, including district attorneys. The exemptions, however, don't prohibit us from reporting on issues of legitimate public concern. For Quintero, he says it's another oversaturation of government spending.
Look, no one's saying that we shouldn't pay our public servants adequately, but there is a threshold beyond which it gets a bit ridiculous, and I think we're here in that circumstance.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier. Dr. Melissa Graham says she first decided to report her then estranged husband to San Antonio police in the spring of 2022. He had called her, according to SAPD records, 30 times in the middle of the night, then activated the couple's robotic vacuum and made comments that frightened her and her children. It was the first of 5 times in 21 months Graham reported Juan Hernandez Barrios to police, including this May 2023 incident. While an SAPD officer stayed outside, Hernandez Barrios was supposed to inventory the home. Instead, according to police, he defecated in a toilet without flushing, urinated in a toilet without flushing, and on the floor, and rummaged through items throughout the residence. Last August, as the couple continued to feud over who should be awarded their home, Hernandez Barrios called Graham.
The house is not your house.
It is.
Try me. Try me.
Graham told KSAT she had had enough and decided to record her soon-to-be ex.
It just progressively escalated, screaming, obscenities, talking, sexually about my daughter. It was terrible.
The call, at times, is difficult to listen to.
Something like that. Your daughter's gonna get your son's gonna become gay, you get I want your soul. I want your kids. I want your soul. I want everything out of you. You! Damn! Everything! You!
Within days, investigators issued a warrant for Hernandez Barrios' arrest, charging him with harassment. He was taken into custody weeks later. Graham previously worked as a staff psychologist for the San Antonio Police Department and then later the fire department. Despite spending her career counseling first responders, sometimes about their own domestic situations, Graham said nothing prepared her for what happened when her case went to court. She says she didn't hear from the Bexar County District Attorney's Office for nearly 8 months before finally getting a call from a victim advocate on a Thursday night, advising her to be in court ready to testify the following Monday.
I finally met the prosecutor 5 minutes before I was to show up in court. He told me, just listen to the tapes on Sunday.
Things did not go well for Graham. Attorneys for Hernandez Barrios were able to get the recordings tossed out after the prosecution failed to include in the charging paperwork that he had threatened his then wife. The judge issued a directed verdict of not guilty. Graham says the trial was over almost just as soon as it began.
To put yourself out there and go after something that's right, even when it's painful, to make yourself vulnerable, it's really hard. And honestly, one of my first thoughts was, if this can happen to me, how many other women is it happening to? That their cases just don't get taken seriously.
In a statement, DA spokesman Pete Gallego told KSAT the office contacted Graham 3 times before trial, but that schedule demands kept prosecutors from meeting with her in person before the first trial setting, and that the main prosecutor assigned to it had reviewed all of the evidence. Quote, as with any trial proceeding, the ultimate result is out of our hands. Even so, we are taking a critical look at the history of this case and working to ensure that our work is thorough and diligent across our caseload so that victims' voices are heard. Graham called the statement, quote, BS. Apparently they did not take it seriously, and the DA was competently inept, end quote. Graham said prosecutors should have made more effort to contact her ahead of trial to get her side of what happened, should have done more research into how to properly charge her ex, and should have pushed for the judge to listen to the recordings prior to her ruling on whether to toss them out.
Juan?
Yes, sir.
Hi. I'm Dylan with KSAT 12.
Reached at the home he once shared with Graham, Hernandez Barrios first closed the door on KSAT without
Can I leave
commenting.
my card?
He then came outside and spoke with us at length about beating the criminal case.
I told her, to
off. I told all these things I did.
Hernandez Barrios said he'd been drinking the night in question, and the call was the culmination of close to 2 years of pent-up frustration.
One phone call that I regret, and I apologize for stuff that I said. I was intoxicated, but I didn't mean any harm.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier. More than 3 years after January 6, 2021, Roxanne Mathai still contends she was unaware of the full-scale mayhem taking place in front of her as she walked near the U.S. Capitol.
I felt the need to actually disclose that when I said we're going in, because I meant closer to the crowd. I wanted to see things.
Mathai, who was never criminally charged, had traveled to Washington, D.C. to support then outgoing President Donald Trump at a rally.
You'll never take back our country with weakness.
Dressed in red, white, and blue superhero attire, she had no idea the decision to walk behind the crowd approaching the Capitol building would halt her detention officer career. A day after the riot, Sheriff Javier Salazar condemned Mathai.
My intent right now is that she never sets foot in this building again.
Months later, he fired her. And during her appeal before an arbitrator that August, testified that people at the Capitol were actively trying to hunt down and lynch members of Congress.
When I reviewed the case, I got the sense that there was some serious liability the county was facing based on Javier Salazar's comments.
After the arbitrator upheld Mathai's firing, Mark Anthony Sanchez took the case to federal court, formally accusing Salazar and the county in late 2022 of violating Mathai's First Amendment rights and alleging retaliatory discharge.
He has no sense, no clue about how to respect the First Amendment rights of employees who are on their own time and participating in political activities for their own personal positions and values.
Sanchez points to this back and forth with Salazar during the sheriff's deposition late last year. After Sanchez asked the sheriff if he believed Mathai was a terrorist, the sheriff answered, quote, "I believe it." Asked a second time, the sheriff responded, "Yes."
I would love for him to sit across from me at a table and please tell me how I am a terrorist.
Mathai said she believes the sheriff moved to terminate her because her conservative political beliefs run opposite of his.
Salazar's not really for law enforcement like people believe he is.
Sanchez called the $395,000 settlement significant and a beacon of hope for people who feel their rights to free speech have been trampled on. Days after the county acknowledged the settlement publicly, the assistant district attorney who fought to get it dismissed, Susan Bowen, saw her 32-year tenure with the DA's office come to an end. District Attorney Joe Gonzalez called it a personnel decision and refused to say if her exit was related to her handling of the Mathai case, but acknowledged Bowen's departure may be headed to litigation of its own.
Because there are certain things that the media doesn't have a right to know, and there are certain things that at some point the public will have the right to know.
Tear gas don't bother me.
For KSAT Investigates, I'm Dylan Collier. Thank you for joining us on our Best of KSAT Investigates show tonight. You can take a look at all the KSAT Investigates stories by heading to our website,